Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wan Alicia Lina and I will talk about the introduction for this research method. Our research title is The Factor That Affect Student Performance During Online Class. The purpose of this research is to analyze what this research is for analyze was therefore is to establish the relationship among students, academic results, CGPA, instructional technique problem, time to study with internet problem, lack of student participation during online class and group work, lack communication between lecturers and students that will affect the student result performance during online learning. As we all know, during this pandemic attack recently, named coronavirus or COVID-19, that have been affected worldwide started on last year in 2019. The world have been limited any social gathering and introduced social distancing. So, for chapter 1, we will conduct about the content of background, problem statement, research questions, research objectives, and operational definition. Now I will pass to the next presenter to present their slide.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Syafiqah Oni binti Muhammad Huzaini. My matric number is A19B1099. I want to present about problem statement. Online innovation have proven to be an essential component of everything. These online technologies are used for many items today. Internet based on education beyond time and space barriers make students not able to access learning opportunities. Half of students may be comfortable learning like this, but for students who are in rural areas, they find it is difficult to get strong internet access. The survey from Muhammad Adnan and Kainat Anwar, Journal of Pedagogical Sociology and Psychology, has reported that 73% have proper access to the internet. 9.5% reported no proper access, while 17.5% reported that they have limited access to the internet through a mobile phone or handheld device. In exam 9, whether students feel qualified to use a computer or laptop for online learning, 71.4% of students feel that they are well qualified to use computer for online learning. 61.1% of students reported that they are comfortable communicating digitally, while 11.1% feel that they are face problem in digital communication. Sabahan girl Weweno Mosibin, 18, student from University Malaysian Sabah, chose to sleep on top of tree to attend her exam due to limited access of internet in the Star newspaper. The student struggled to use a new teaching method in online learning also when engaging calculation. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Next is research question. This is a statement that identifies the phenomenon to be studied. Our research question is, first, do students have problems in the constraint of time and internet problem? 2. Are student participation in online learning and group work decreased? Third, how is the level of student acceptance in the use of internet learning for learning purpose? And lastly, how many levels of student achievement during the final exam each semester in the online learning? Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan Farhana binti Wan Muhammad Shudi. My matric number A19B1147. Okay, today I want to talk about research objective and operational definition. For research objective, this study was conducted based on several objectives as follows. First, identify the level of readiness of students for the use of eCampus for learning purpose. Second, identify the level of suitable of internet use to students for learning purpose. And 3, identify the level of student acceptance of the use of online learning for learning purpose. And lastly, identify the level of student achievement during the final examination of each semester during online learning. Okay, for operational definition. The articulation of operationalization of statement of procedures used in defining the term of a process or set of validation tests and the expected outcomes needed to determine the existence of an item or phenomenon and its properties such as duration, quantity, extension in space, chemical composition. Since the degree of operationalization can vary itself, it can result in more or less operational definition. The procedure included of definition should be repeatably by one or at least by peers. First, academic, second, internet, class, and lastly, communicates. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan Nur Syamiza binti Wamazahan, nombor metik AAT-B1266. Today, I will explain about the chapter 2, which is literature review and dependent variable. Okay, first is literature review. Wu 2020 stated that the unexpected change to online learning became a measure of organization agility. And for Zone 2020, it stated that the lack of proper interaction with infrastructure is another major concern associated with online learning. And also, concerns regarding any content of online learning course are usually discussed with the relevant course instructor by email, which require a lot of time. And for Malaysia and the other research, 2020 has asserted that the current circumstance is that a few recent research studies have explored the challenge and opportunity associated with e-learning during pandemic. And for the dependent variable, which is student academic result, a good academic performance helps students to get a good job, but there are factors that students may rectify their error and concentrate more on study to improve their academic result. Okay, for Lee and Gao 2016 has stated that the impact of peer assessment seems to vary according to student learning level. Low and average achieving students show significantly improved performance but less impact on the performance of high achieving students. But Bettinger and Fogg 2017 has stated that the taking online courses has negative effect on student. Reduction of student progress and success has been reported to be associated with taking online college course instead of traditional in-person course. So, it is implied that taking the online classes may affect the student progress in the academic result. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, I am Siti Maimunah binti Mokhtar. My metric number is A19B1129. Now, I will continue with literature review. In literature review, we have a dependent variable and independent variable. For dependent variable is student academic result. Alright, for independent variable, first is internet problem. What we want to see is to see the relationship between internet problem and student academic result. Second is lack of student participant during online class and group work. We want to see the relationship between lack of student participant during online class and group work and student academic result. Thirdly is lack of communication between lecturer and student. Okay, we want to see the relationship between lack communication between lecturer and student with student academic result. Overall, the goals of the research project is to understand, predict or explain the variability of this variable. independent variable is influence the dependent variable in either way, positive or negatively. Alright. The majority of studies show there is no difference in grade-based student learning outcome between mode of instruction by Joseph K. Kavanaugh and Stephen J. Jacquim, 2015. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Akmal binti Abu Samad and my metric number is A19B0706. Now in my part, I will discuss about chapter 3, research methodology. So this is important part to identify which method will be used in order to match with researcher objective. First, we will discuss about research design, method and source, and lastly is sampling. Firstly, we need to understand the problem statement which have been explained by previous presenter. There are 3 independent variables was carried out, which are: first, time study and internet problem; second, lack of student participations during online class and group work; third, lack of communication between lecturer and student. Then, descriptive design is chosen under these research to ensure the data collected from the fieldwork are fitting for solving problem. Besides that, we indicate questionnaire as a method of data collection. We use quantitative research for this study and come up with 4 types of measurement, which are nominal, ordinal, ratio, and interval. For nominal refer to students' gender of student, and ordinal refer to satisfactions of student final grade, and ratio refer to student CGPA, interval refer to test score of student final grade. That data source is collected from Malaysian institutions that answer the questionnaire, such as our student participations in online learning and group work are decreased. Second, how is the level of student acceptance in the use of internet learning for learning purpose. Next, we use secondary data in data collection method, which is save money and time. Also, to provide information that relevant to sample size and audience. Lastly, sample is focused on student and lecturer enrolled in Malaysian institutions. For example, surveys show that 28 male and 72 female have satisfactions CGPA result for over 2 semesters. In our research, we use certified sampling method, which is the population is all students and lecturers from all Malaysian institutions, and subgroup is referred to gender, satisfaction of student final grade, students CGPA, and test score of student final grade. We also use a convenient sampling in our study, since it is quick and efficiently. Besides that, the questionnaire is distributed to all students and lecturers by using Google Form. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Devasri Parmeshwari. My metric number A19B0112. I'm going to present about data analysis. So for the data analysis, we have 3 methods, which is observation or research question, hypothesis on dependent variable and independent variable, and the third one will be data collection process. So for the observation or research question, we have conducted based on accurate data from secondary resources. First, we understand the underlying the reason with selected people. Then we approach brief discussion on these studies. We analyze the problem statement and research question by collecting information from previous researcher data, mainly focusing on qualitative data. For the hypothesis on dependent variable and independent variable, we establish a relationship between 2 variables, and then the hypothesis is made in order to test the empirical data from research studies. So in testing the collecting data, we obtain positive and negative relationship towards the variables. Okay, for the data collection process, in our studies, we prepare questionnaire as data collection method to obtain data from survey studies. We targeted students and lecturers from Malaysian institution to participate in our survey. We create a list of questions for collecting statistically useful of personal data from respondents through online answering method. So next I will present about practical implication and contribution to the knowledge. For the practical implication, the purpose of our research is to fill the gap of established studies that tend to place the development of students' performance during online learning. So in contrast, from previous research studies, we emphasize that students' academic performance has affected through improper of online learning, especially amid by internet accessing problems, communications, and lack of students' participation. And for the contribution to the knowledge, we aim this research is to examine the knowledge of contribution of students who struggle to score well in academic performance during in online learning. So as recommendation to improve the students' performance in online learning, the university should provide a platform to make easy to access online learning by providing good training during the pandemic.